so you can have something to go back and check. But what got you interested in coaching?
Uh, let's see. Well, I've been playing Overwatch for like a few years,
Hmm.
and I don't know. I guess wanted to get better.
Sure.
I transitioned over to PC during COVID.
Ah,
I was able to build my own PC because I was coming from console, and ever since then, like I don't know, just I've been wanting to get better. I just want to get better. That's all,
okay.
you know.
So what made you transition? Because obviously it's been a few years.
Uh, well, the I was having issues with my like joysticks always drifting when I
Mm.
would play on console, and I would have to replace the joystick every few months, and it was just getting annoying. So I was
Okay.
just like, you know what? Let me just get a PC, and
Sure. Makes sense. And how did that
yeah.
transition go for you?
Initially it wasn't that bad because, I had already played on console, and I was probably mid gold, upper gold on
Hmm.
console, and then when I trans over to PC, I mean, then I became like lower gold, and then like, it just I had to get used to it, and I got used to it, and just been getting better. I only play like a few hours a day. There's some days when I would play, all day when I'm off, and
Sure.
but
Makes sense.
I only put in a few hours a day because of work and
Yeah, of
other
course. Of course.
stuff.
Of course. Okay. Makes sense. Makes sense. Makes sense. And then recently, I mean, at least getting a coaching session implies that you're taking things at least a little bit more seriously. At least you want to be more productive with it. So why is that?
Well, yeah. So recently, I don't know what's been going on for the seasons, but I got up to GM4 as a support player, and but my other roles, my tank and DPS roles, are still stuck in like plat. So I'm going like, what is going on? Why can't I make my tank or support or my tank and DPS rolls go up as high as my
Sure.
support roll?
Sure. Are you at your computer right now?
I am.
Can you stream Overwatch through Discord? Your career profile. I might sniff around,
Okay.
see if I can figure out some stuff. Because obviously, if support's your main role, it's not a surprise that it's higher. But that is a large gap. So
It is a very large gap. Yes, it is.
now, is your tank and DPS rank important to you, or are you more of a? Okay, so go to career profile. Um, yeah. All right. Let's look at this. So VM4, but you aren't
So I
playing a
don't.
ton. Go to the last season as well.
Yeah, I don't know what happened here. All my stuff reset here. Like
Hmm.
everything disappeared as far as like statistics. I play a
Yeah.
lot more games as a support player, and then
Oh, so this is not accurate then.
this right here for season 4 isn't that accurate. I was able to get to GM4, but none of the stats are here. I don't know why.
Season
It
three.
just reset. So season 3 you can see.
You did
So
hit
what you see in
masters. Yeah, that's a lot of
yeah,
hours too. Go ahead.
what you see in season 3 is similar to what season 4 would be.
Okay, okay. So a lot of playtime on support. Okay, so I mean, there at least some of it is logical, right? Like that's not super out of the ordinary. Go to skip out of competitive. Just do all. Actually, you know what? Do all competitive hours. So the second tab to your right over, where it says season three.
Yeah.
Set that to all
Okay.
competitive seasons. No, 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 no. Where it says season three, there, right there in the middle tab there. Yeah, click that and then do
Okay.
all competitive seasons. Yeah, yeah. So this, if this is anywhere close to being accurate, this makes a little bit more sense.
Yeah.
Um, that being said, it might be that your DPS and tank are a little better, but that you just haven't put the time in to like level them up.
Okay.
Could also be that you're on a little bit of a lucky streak with support. Maybe that you're more around like the Masters 1 level, where the gap is still large but not as significant. Maybe you've been a little bit unlucky with tank and DPS. Regardless, whatever you're gonna put your time into, that's what we're gonna see. Like right now, I don't play the game very much, but I would say within a week, I could get probably my Zenyatta or both to around GM5 level. But
Mm.
I would not be able to do so with my tracer. I would probably be
Mm.
like a low diamond tracer within that same amount of time. Like my mechanics are terrible.
Mm.
And so for you, and that might just be simply that just might be the case. If we go to all modes, so go in the left tab, shift off of competitive, and then just do all modes here. I mean, that's a pretty sizable gap there, and your most played DPS is Junkrat, right? So
Yeah.
with all due respect, not the most effective hero of all time. So
Right.
I think it's odd, but not super out of the ordinary. Okay, so
Okay.
why support? Why are you? What about support appeals to you? I guess.
Well, initially, the queue times were shortest for
Yeah.
support.
Overwatch 1, right?
So yeah, so
Yeah.
it just got me towards playing because I didn't want to wait 15, 20 minutes for a game.
No, of course.
So I just queued as support, and I guess I got better at support than any other role.
Sure. And you enjoy it.
Yeah, I enjoy it.
Okay. Okay. Because at the point now, it's like the queue times are very similar.
Yeah,
So that's not really stopping you from doing anything. So if you wanted to be a
right.
Junkrat OTP, you could do it. Not recommending it for your own mental health, but it is possible. So maybe something to evaluate. So now your goals here on the forum is, at least as of a month ago, long term would be to get my tank and DPS roles to match my support roles. Short term would be see if I can be more effective as a support player. So support still gets priority for you, even though it is GM4.
Right.
Okay. Why is that? Is it just
I
you
might.
just enjoy that role so much more?
Well, it is my highest level role,
Right.
so I do. But I think I have a little bit of imposter syndrome for support
Ah.
because just it was I believe season 3 was the first time I reached masters, and then I was frazzled when I started getting into masters lobbies, and it wasn't comfortable for like the first couple days, but then I started getting used to it, and then I was like, you know what, I think I can hang with these guys, and I was able to and I solo queue. I don't group up or anything, so I just play by myself, and it felt good getting grandmaster. I
Yeah.
never thought I would able to achieve that,
Right.
so
Well,
it felt good.
congratulations.
Thanks, but yeah, this season's terrible.
How so?
I just can't get wins. Season 4 is just like I've fallen down to Diamond 1, I believe.
Okay. Why do you think that is? Any guesses?
It's I don't know. See, the thing is, I do have mental issues with the game.
Sure.
Like if we're getting rolled, I basically just I'm that guy that says GG in the game chat
Oh
and
no.
goes, it's over.
Oh
Yeah,
no.
I'm one of those guys.
Okay.
So when that happens, it's like it just free falls, and
Right.
then it happens the next game, and then I'm like, time to uninstall the game. I go into those states, uninstall the game, then a day later reinstall the game, and
Right.
you know,
Did that
uh,
happen when you hit GM4? Did you have days like that?
not as much.
Why do you think that is? Any guess? Or is it just you got lucky?
I think I got lucky. I
It
think luck had
happens.
to do with it, and matchmaking had to do with it.
It happens. It happens. Stuff
Yeah,
snowballs one direction or the other pretty quickly.
right.
Especially in Overwatch 2. I just did a video on this a few days ago where it's like my one problem with 5v5 is I love 5v5, but things can get out of control real fast. There's not enough like baseline, there's a lot of RNG. Think about it as like it's
Yeah,
more heads or tails with 5 people instead of 6. And so, that could be either a good thing or a bad thing depending on how confident or how tilted you are, right?
right.
So, you know that this is an issue. You've been aware that this is an issue. So, have you tried to take any action to help this or improve this or work at this? Any ideas or strategies that you've worked at?
Not really.
Okay, okay. So you're hoping for some suggestions.
Right. Yeah.
Okay, okay, makes sense. Well, let's keep going, and we'll talk about that in a little bit. So, what do you feel is holding you back from improving? And you say, I think the biggest issue would be my mental for me. I'm a quitter when things aren't going well. I get frustrated and start throwing by feeding or jumping off the map when we are losing. um,
Yeah, that's true.
is this a track? Now, have you competed in other things? You're an old dude like me, so
Yeah.
have you competed in other things growing up, even in the last 10 years?
Well, yeah, sports. I love playing basketball,
Okay,
like pickup games.
sure,
Um,
sure.
I play football, like just competitive. I'm just a generally competitive guy in
Okay,
general.
okay. And how, and is this kind of not jumping off the map? That's not exactly the equivalent, but have you struggled with the equivalent in basketball, football, or any other competition that you've involved in?
You know what? That's a good question. Um, when I think about it, yes and no. If I think about it deeply, um,
What parts yes, what parts no?
well, let's say I'm at the gym and we're gonna play pickup ball.
Yeah.
You can already sense by who your teammates are and who you're playing against, like if you're gonna win or lose.
Of course.
So I kind of have expectations going into a game before even the first ball is shot. Like,
Right.
okay, I see who my teammates are and I see who we're going against.
Right.
I'm not gonna really. I'll try, but I'm not gonna like go my best effort when I'm playing basketball. But like if I feel like we're kind of even, like okay, yeah, it's time to ramp up. Play what I can to help the team win, and see who wins and loses.
So
I guess that's the same.
your effort is more tenuous. Like you are very attentive to like what you perceive as a fair shot, right?
Right.
And so for you, it's not even for you. It's kind of interesting because it's almost like for you, it's like if something isn't a competition, it's not worth doing. For example, it's like you not playing basketball just to play basketball. You're playing basketball to have a competitive game, right?
Right.
And then if you don't perceive it as a competitive game, then it's not going to be worth your effort.
Yeah, it's the same if I see my team and I know we look like we're stacked like basketball and then the other team's not that well, like I don't really it's not fun. It's not
Right.
fun crushing
Right.
another team.
No.
And vice versa. Same thing in Overwatch. It's not fun rolling another
Right.
team.
Now, the funny thing is you could probably already see why this is more of a problem with Overwatch. It's because Overwatch tends to be a lot snowballier, messier.
Yeah.
And also, it's very hard to get an accurate impression of like who's trolling and who's feeding. It's very, very easy to get a negative impression of somebody that's doing something bad that you think is bad.
Right.
I think the standard for somebody's trolling or throwing or feeding or we're going to lose this game seems to be we're a lot faster to jump to that opinion, especially in Overwatch 2. I don't know if it's just the nature of not seeing people, not seeing what they're doing, working over the computer. People get very upset and like just throw the thing a lot. I don't know if it's just the social graces that prevent us from doing that in basketball. I don't know if it's because we can actually see what's happening, so we go, oh, they missed the shot, but like they tried or whatever. But in Overwatch, we see a Mercy feeding. We're like, oh, Mercy's just feeding. She's just bad. GG's game. Go next. You know what I'm saying? Like that's going to happen a lot more. You're going to have the perception of the game is not competitive a lot more in Overwatch than you will probably in real sports. I mean, that's my guess. Does that line up with your experience or not so much?
No, I agree with you.
Okay.
Yeah, that's something I agree with.
So, challenge is to ask yourself the question and answer as accurately as possible. Do you like Overwatch or do you just like competing in Overwatch?
I think it's the latter.
Okay. Because that's a problem.
Yeah.
Because there's just a fundamental flaw in the game that's going to prevent it from being perfectly competitive. And the thing is, it's not even the game. I mean, you know it in basketball. How many times have you had a basketball game that on paper should have been very competitive and just for whatever reason wasn't? Right?
Oh, yeah, it happens. Yeah.
And even games where you feel like it shouldn't have been and it was, right? So like your preconceived notions. And the problem is that if you expect it to not be a competitive game, and you don't put in the effort, you've just confirmed your suspicions. It's like a positive feedback loop, right? Where you don't try because you think it's not going to be competitive, and therefore you being one of the 5 players on the basketball court, sound familiar? You're confirming that it's not going to be a competitive game. And then you're going to be like, CO was right? I don't know why I'm even bothering. This is stupid. We need to be picking teams better, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I guess the thing for you is it's like everybody likes competition. You ever heard of flow state?
No, I haven't.
It's basically like when you're in a competitive mode and you are fully tuned in. Like you almost like it's like when these competitors get to like their elite level where they just feel, they don't even think, it just acts. And the way to bring about flow state to play our best, where we're not like choking or overthinking, is usually when the level of challenge is right at where our skill is, right, or a little bit higher. For example, you wouldn't be like performing your best versus 5-year-olds or 50-year-olds, right? You wouldn't be
Mm-hmm.
performing your best versus NBA players. You'd be getting discouraged and frustrated, right?
Mm-hmm.
So for you, anytime that you perceive that challenge is like beneath you or above you, you're going to shut down. So there's a very understandable reason of why you're doing that. But if it's making the game not fun to play, and you know it's to an extent inevitable, you need to shift your internal goalposts about what you expect from a good game and what you expect from a bad game.
Mm-hmm.
Because it doesn't matter if you get better. I think a lot of you know how it is, right? Like, has the quality of game increased from your low gold lobbies to Grandmaster? Probably, yeah. But by a significant 10 times margin, no, right?
Yeah.
So you need to find a way. Like, don't sit there and be like, oh, I have to love playing games that aren't competitive, but find something about the game that's satisfying, even if it is to stomp either direction. Have some sort of personal pride in, like, oh, I executed well even if my team didn't, or I was practicing something, I made progress at improving that skill, or we dumpstered them, but it wouldn't have mattered, I played perfectly that game, or I was a contributing factor to why it was a slaughter, because I played so cleanly, right? Unfortunately, the human element just means that it's inevitable that that's going to be the case even with perfect matchmaking. So you're going to have to shift your internal goalposts at least a little bit, or you're going to continue to struggle with this.
Right. That sounds, yeah, that sounds like a better option than what I've been trying to go through for the last
And
few
it's
years.
hard too, right? It's hard. And I think it's because it's sexy to be a competitor. I cannot tell you how many players I coached in Contenders and even Overwatch League and professional Overwatch and be like, oh, well, I'm just a winner, I'm a competitor. And these players burn out, right? They get in a bad team environment, or they get unlucky, or they go on, they have a really tough Overwatch League season and they quit. Why? Because they set such high standards for what would be a good experience that then if it doesn't line up with that, then they don't want to do it anymore. You gotta love Overwatch. You have to love playing the game. You have to enjoy competing even if you get your teeth kicked in. You don't have to love your teeth kicked in, but you have to feel some sort of satisfaction that I'm getting dumpster right now, but I can see myself improving, right? That happened to me. I would be playing. I was on a lot of really bad football teams, and I couldn't if I took every loss personally and not as then I would have quit, But what I did is I would be like, all right, well, I'm really practicing this skill. And honestly, okay, not to be corny about it, but to be a little bit selfish about it too. Like, you go with your team sucks, who cares? This is all about you. This is your training environment, Don't worry about your team, worry about what you need to be doing better. If your teammates don't want to put in the same effort, same focus, it doesn't matter. You're going to improve. I would do that. A lot of the teams that I would join, I'd be like, yeah, this team's trash. We're never going to win anything with this, but it's a good environment for me to practice, this skill or that skill. You kind of see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then, you go from there.
That's like the Kobe Bryant mentality, huh?
Well, I guess so, right? If
Yeah.
you're on a bad team, why aren't you carrying the team? You know what I'm saying? You aren't going to be able to carry every game, right? You shouldn't even necessarily try to carry every game, but you kind of need to be in your mindset that this is just training. And it's especially true with Overwatch, because this is great that you play a lot of pickup basketball, because that's exactly what Overwatch competitive is. It's pickup basketball, right? You remember playing games as a kid where you go play your game, and then when the game was over, if you won or you lost, you went home. You're done. It's over. And then you go practice. But that's not what Overwatch is. Every game is practice. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So every pickup game, if you go onto a really, really trashy pickup basketball, the matchmaking in pickup basketball is terrible. Be like, all right, well, what am I going to practice here? I'm going to work on my jumpers. I'm going to work on my handles or whatever the case may be. And just treat it like that. And that way you're like, hey, I got some practice in there. We lost, 24-0 or whatever, but I got to work on my handles, and so next game I'll be better prepared. And then you can feel some sort of progress from that, because that you're chasing excellence, not success. Because one of those things is temporary, one of those is permanent.
Okay.
You kind of see what I'm saying?
So try to pick out one aspect of the game.
Sure. Play
Instead of
perfectly every game. Play perfectly every game. Aim to be perfect. With your positioning, with your cooldown usage, with your mechanics. You're never going to be perfect, but track how you over time improve at different aspects and learn to work towards feeling a sense of satisfaction out of that. Because if you want competitive games, you're not going to get them. It's just not possible.
Right.
I mean, I've been doing this with pugs recently. Like I'll do like pickup games, my subscribers or whatever Patreon guys on my Discord, and it's miserable. I'll have all the SRs lined up, and it'll be like a 3-0 dumpster. And then I'll swap the team, or I'll like leave the teams the same, and it's a 3-0 dumpster the opposite direction the next game. Like what I like, how do I get balanced teams? And then somebody in my Discord voice goes, "Yeah, now you know how Blizzard does it." And I'm like, "Oh shoot, that's profound." Yeah, it's like, it's impossible. It's so hard. So anyway, all right. Do you have any questions about this?
Oh wow. No. I never even thought about it the way you approached it.
It's hard
But
though, like because you have your whole
yeah.
life, and it's like I don't know if it's just like the American mindset or what, but like if you don't win, you're a loser. But like, how do people win? You have to be really good. How do you get really good? You know, you have to love what you're doing. You have to be specific about what you're working at, right? I think having either being an I have to win, I have to win, I have to win, I have to win mindset, you know, even people that we look at like Michael Jordan, like, oh, he didn't really have that mindset. He wanted to win at all costs, but more than anything, he just wanted to be the best, right? And, you know, getting cut from his high school team and losing like championship and losing playoff game after playoff game for like, what, 5, 6, 7 seasons? You know what I'm saying? Didn't discourage him. Kept coming, he kept coming, kept going. And if he didn't love basketball and didn't feel like he was progressing, do you think that he would have stuck around? No, he would have burned out. Right? I mean, there's for every Michael Jordan that's been able to sustain, there's dozens and dozens of professional players that burned out because they couldn't stand not winning. Because only one guy can win, you know. Only one team can win per game, you know. So even if you got to the top 500, your win percentage would still plateau.
That's true.
Okay. Again, doesn't have to be a light switch moment. It won't be a light switch moment, but it has to be a growth. It has to be a goal. Reevaluate what you enjoy about the game and pursue that. That's why I'm so adamant about like finding the role that you enjoy. Because if you're only playing a role because you're good at it and you think that you'll win more, boy, that's a crappy mindset. You know, it's a really crappy mindset. That's why so many. Were you around for Goats meta, like that Briggs, Zarya, Ryan, Lucy?
No, I wasn't.
All right,
I wasn't.
I cannot tell you how many DPS players burned out. DPS players that were on winning teams in professional Overwatch burned out because they freaking hated playing Brig. Didn't matter they were winning; they just hated playing Brig.
Yeah,
it's very unsatisfying to win doing something that you hate.
I could see that. Yeah.
It's very unsatisfying.
I could imagine.
Yeah. Anyway, okay. Sleep is also on the very low end. I know you're rather busy. 5 to 6 hours is even a little bit low for the adult average. Especially
I drink a lot of coffee.
Yeah, I hear you. But that's the Band-Aid approach, you know. Even if you could get that to be consistently 6 hours, 6.5. I mean, I get it, right? I work a lot as well. You know, I'm busy and working out and doing this and that. Just any little improvement there matters. It's good to stay on that if you can. My chat always jokes if you're not sleeping 14 hours a day, I'm gonna get on your case. But
can't do that.
Yeah,
gotta pay the bills.
Maybe 15 or 16 hours. You know, just give you a few hours out of the day to work. Okay. I don't really have anything else from your gameplay. Do you have any questions?
Yeah. How about this? Like, it seems I have it's harder as like if I play as a hit scan. How do I get better at just in general aim? Like, I know that'll help a lot, but how do I just get better at aiming?
Okay, sure. Do you know what your effective DPI is, like your DPI and your sensitivity?
I have it set at 800. I played 800 DPI on the mouse.
Sensitivity in game?
I don't. I think that's default. Let me see.
Go to controls up there, yeah.
I believe that's default.
Yeah,
right?
I think that's default. It's quite high. You could. How big is your mouse pad in like inches by inches?
Oh, I have the table. The table is all covered in the.
You could pad. Here. Let me actually send you a video on this. Especially for a flex support player, just like just an click and aim support player, you have probably double what you need. 15 times 800. That's a little more, probably close. That's around 12,000 DPI. Most support
Wow.
players have around like 5,000, 4,000. So like you probably do a lot of wrist aiming.
Yeah, yeah. I don't do the whole arm thing. Like I've seen some really good players like on
Okay,
stream and stuff do. Like I just
sure.
flick my wrist.
Sure. I would work towards, okay, check out that video later, and I would at some point work to slowly work your sensitivity down to where your in-game sensitivity, I would say you might even ballpark for something like a 5 or a 6 instead of a 15. That's going to be, now there's a lot of flexibility with that. You could do 7, you could do 8, you could do 3, heck, you could even do 2.5. That's about where I'm at. I'm around 3 in terms of like, I'm about a quarter of your sensitivity.
Wow.
But you don't have to be. You can be somewhere in that spectrum. The reason I would say definitely find something lower on the spectrum is it's just better for your wrist health. Better to use muscles than repeatedly beat on tendons. Like with your, and so especially somebody of your age and my age, we have to start considering these things with how much it
Yeah.
happens. So something to consider. And then that will help a little bit with your inconsistency. It will obviously there'll be a small adjustment period, but it's not going to be near as bad as you think it's going to be. Your aim will be fine. Give it a week, you'll be fine.
Oh, okay.
And then I mean, you could pick a pro player and like double their sensitivity, and in like a week their aim would be almost back to normal, right? It's more about your training your brain than training your arm, honestly. But anyway, long story short, that and then honestly, just playing the game. That's how you
Yeah.
improve your aim. Your aim is good enough to get to Grandmaster. I'm sure your aim is probably okay. If you wanted to train your aim more, you play more, or you spend more time. One of my favorite aim training modes that I talk a lot about is, do me a favor, escape out, just of the settings. It might not be available. Go to play at the top there. Go to custom games, and then click all games under the tab on the left there, and then type try hard, just one word. Okay, so there's not a tryhard. So sometimes there will be a custom game lobby called Tryhard FFA, which is basically they disable a lot of crappy heroes, and it's a lot of like really high level players, some masters, grandmasters, diamonds. You know, sometimes you get Overwatch League players in there as well, and it's
really?
just basically instant respawn, free for all. And that's how I train my aim as a support player. I just basically died to tracers a bunch until I started to kill them. If that's not available, now you are higher ranked, but escape out of this. The next best thing you could do for just strict aim training, go into unranked. You're not going to believe me, but it's true. And then deathmatch FFA there. The matchmaking with this isn't amazing, so you might be queued versus like diamond or masters players. But if you're picking Ana, it's still going to be a challenge. So that's another good way to grind in. That and just simply playing the game.
Okay. At a lower sense.
Yeah, hopefully at a lower sense. You know,
Hopefully.
again, it doesn't
Okay.
have to be like snap your fingers, like cut your sense down to a third of what it is, but you could do it over time. You could do it over time.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes. Okay. Any questions so far?
No, I don't really have anything.
Okay. That would be how. Now, how often and how much do you play on average per day per week right now, being as busy as you are?
I'll play a few hours when I wake up, and then when I get home, I'll play a few hours. So
Okay.
maybe like 2 to 3 hours a day.
Okay, that's perfect.
So
That's perfect.
a whole week would be like 14 hours,
Okay.
I
Yeah,
guess.
that's certainly enough to sustain around the Masters low GM level. To push you higher, maybe fixing your sensitivity, fixing your mentality, maybe some in-game stuff will help with that. But I think like in terms of playtime alone, all about being focused, right? 2 to 3 hours is fine. Just you need to be focused. You need to have specific goals. You need to go into it with the right mentality. But I wouldn't say
Yeah.
that's a huge setback. Okay.
Yeah, I think your advice is on point. Like, what is my end goal, right?
Right.
You're right. Like, change my view of the game, how I approach the game, and just have fun, right? Don't we play games to have fun?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, I've had sessions where I've talked to somebody who really seemed like they were just like not enjoying the game, and my advice is literally just you need to stop playing the game. You need to find something else. It doesn't sound like that's you necessarily, but I'm just saying like it's a video game, right? Like you need to be enjoying yourself. And the thing I like about Overwatch is it feels like a little microcosm of life and just competition as a whole. So if you like are able to figure this stuff out with Overwatch, it's going to carry over to other things as well.
Oh man.
You know. Okay. Do you have any other questions before we hop into gameplay?
No, I don't.
Okay, you're gonna shoot me a code.
Uh, would you? I mean, what kind are you looking for?
First off, what hero do you want to improve at the most? And then second off, find something that's relatively competitive, win or loss. Preferably relatively recent so you can remember the game.
Well, my last game just before I hopped on with you was kind of competitive. 18 minutes
Sure. Works for me.
on push. Okay.
A long push map. Wow.
Yeah, 18 minutes. Oh no, it was 2 CP. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay. 2 CP.
No.
Oh,
What's the mode?
Koth. King of the Hill?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
They got what the new 5 CP or Flashpoint thing that they're talking about now, the new game mode or whatever. I haven't seen much about it, but it sounds interesting.
Let's see. So this.
All right. Perfect. Get my stream started here over Discord. Can you see this?
Yeah, I can.
Brilliant. And you are Kiriko. Is this Kiriko all the way through?
No,
Zen.
I played a little bit.
Oh, we got the
It was mainly
here.
Brig towards the end.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
Sick. What hero do you want to start with? Which heroes are a priority for you?
Anna's the priority.
Okay.
I should give you an Anna code.
You should give me an Anna code then, yeah.
Yeah, because I got rolled on this last one. It was bad.
Yeah.
Where was it? And was it Gibraltar? Wait, I have to take a look at it real quick.
Sure. Fine.
I don't remember. Oh wait, that was a DPS game. Hold on, where was it? Was it this game? No, I can't. Wow, where is it?
Always annoying when you're like, wait, did it get buried? Did I lose it forever?
Oh, okay, yeah, this was it. Let's see. Okay. Yeah, that one right there.
Okay. Circuit Royale. My least favorite map.
It was tough.
Okay, Ana, Bap, then Ana at the end. Okay, so it sounds like we got a decent amount of Ana here.
Wait, are you watching that on your screen right now?
Yeah, I am.
Oh, okay. Because on Discord, I see my screen on.
Okay, so you see where you see your screen or you see my screen on Discord? Click on the screen and you'll see a few options, and then you'll click on my stream.
Ah, okay, I got it.
It's annoying. You have like multiple streams or stop and start it, kind of like freaks. Okay, so you in? Can you see?
Yep.
Perfect. Okay, so Ana, what do you enjoy about Ana? What is Ana good at?
Ana, I like her ability to heal far away. And her nade is really effective when you know when to use it.
Sure.
And you can like really get good value out of a good nade.
So what about the situation demanded to swap to Ana?
Well, it was the pocketed Pharah that really got me. Even though we had 2 hit scans on DPS, I was like,
sure.
We got rolled at first point, and I was like, oh, I gotta switch, get off of Zen.
Okay, makes sense. So obviously, being low Grandmaster, we should have a decent idea, or High Master, or wherever you're floating at right around right now. We should have a pretty decent idea of what to expect from you. And so let's just see if you line up with what you ought to be doing.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, it gets body blocked, and then we just die. Okay. Now, the way I like to look at VODs is we can look at the micro until the cows come home. However, I like to move at a brisk pace and find overarching, consistent patterns that we could actually apply. So we could sit there and analyze that, but I don't think there's a lot to learn. I want to keep moving. If you have any questions during this review, just let me know.
All right.
Now, is there a better angle or a better position for you to output pressure right now?
For me?
Mm-hmm.
Further right?
As in like here?
Yeah, but I was afraid of peeking.
Okay, why?
I was the Pharaoh was really rolling us. Like
Is there
she
a
got
better
me a few times already.
Is there a better position than here?
Maybe the first pillar on the left.
So like here?
Yeah.
What about here?
That would be good too.
What about here?
I think that's too far away. I don't
Too
know.
far away, what does it mean?
Because I see everyone's grouped up right by the door,
Uh-huh.
right?
Uh-huh.
So I try not to get too far away where if I need peel,
How
like
does a
they don't
Kiriko
have
peel
to.
you?
The Kiriko?
Mm-hmm.
Well, she throws her. Where are those
Kunai.
things?
Or
Yeah, the
no,
kunai.
it's
No.
Ofuda or whatever, yeah.
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 So
Can she
she
heal
can
you from
heal.
here?
She can, yes.
Okay. So what do you get out of being here that you don't get being here? In terms of
A
peel.
little. Oh, well, nothing really.
Okay. Where's this Farah spamming? Okay.
She was generally just in the middle
Right. So
at the
where,
top.
if you're playing Farah here, where would you aim your rockets? I mean, you can see it, right?
Yeah.
Why is she aiming there?
To get some
Where are you
splash
going to be?
damage
There. Where's
right
the tank
there.
going to be? There. Where's your Ash going to be? In your Kiriko and your Cassidy.
Mm-hmm.
So, do you think she's aiming for anybody?
No.
No, she's aiming at a spot.
Right.
And that also happens to be
Where I am.
exactly where you are.
Yeah.
Something to consider.
Mm-hmm.
Now, it's very important that you consider LOS. Can my Kiriko see me? Can my Break see me? Can my Zen see me? But don't make things easy. Take a different sightline. You have a range, and you have a gun. The easiest thing that you could do, nice. The easiest thing you could do for a Farah is make it very easy for her to know where you are. And see, even here. Now, I understand that you slept the Mercy here. But how are you going to break? How are you going to break this choke?
I don't know, honestly.
See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
This is your responsibility. Your responsibility is to break the choke. It's your Cassidy's responsibility. Somebody has to step up here. Because if you guys walk out here, this BAP window, Sigma spam, Dynamite, Farah rockets, whatever else they've got, this Phlox even, you guys are cooked. You're not getting out of this choke. It's over. So what are you going to do? Are you going to be the reason that your team... I'm not going to be the reason that our team lost, right? But are you going to be the reason that your team won? There's a reason why this sleep dart is cute, because this Mercy's not thinking about this door. She's thinking about this door. So she's like, oh crap, right? There's no honestly, like, the only problem with this sleep is that you did it almost a little bit too early. I would have waited until, well, when would you have gone for a play like that?
Yeah.
Like now, probably?
Probably a little bit, like maybe a couple seconds after.
Yeah, because now you got a team to fight, right?
Yeah, they can follow up on that sleep.
And even if they don't follow up on that sleep, they can at least push through so that you can go do your thing without everybody looking at you, right? This is an opportunity to go flank on him. Do you think Ramacha needs full double support pocket to get out of this choke? Do you think that's going to help him get out of this choke? No. You know what's going to help him get out of this choke? People looking at you or people freaking out over you. That's what's going to help him get out of this choke.
Okay.
You're just a liability here.
Yeah.
You're a liability. There's zero chance of you to win this fight. Zero chance. You have to make a play. Now, sometimes you don't have to go on a crazy flank. Sometimes you can just get pressure and value from taking a sightline on main, right? But not there. You had to make a play. So right now, make a play. Do you think who's going to make the play here? How is this fight won or lost? Where is the real fight happening?
Well, I remember in this game there was some stuff going on that second floor with the Cass and
Right,
the Pharah.
right, right. See, the
Uh,
Cass is making a play. He's doing what you should have done the previous fight, right?
yeah.
So where is this fight going to be won or lost? Is it going to be won or lost right here? No, nothing's going to happen here. Both things are going to like throw like they're just going to throw garbage at each other, but nothing's going to die, right? It's
Right.
all on this. If this works, you guys win this because the Cassie either kills the Pharah or he takes a really nasty sightline. Heck, this guy might even flank all the way over behind and kill 6, right? Including himself. You know, so what are you going to do? You're going to help him, or are you going to sit here and you know do 25 healing to your Ramatra off of cooldown?
Well,
now this
I
would
can
be a
tell
lot.
you.
Go ahead. I know what you're gonna do. Now this would be a lot tougher if your Ramatra had like a Lucio or you know maybe your Mercy was pocketing your Ashe and you had to help your Ramatra. But even then, I would still very strongly consider this at least temporarily.
Yeah.
Maybe at least come up here, heal him, but still heal your
Yeah.
tank, and then okay, he needs help, I'm gonna help him or my because that's where your investment needs to be.
Right.
Let's find out what happens. So your Kiriko's helping.
Yeah, I saw her go up there, so I was like, I'm gonna leave it alone.
Sure,
Just
but you
get the
didn't
bomb.
even consider it.
No, I didn't.
You didn't even consider it until it was too
No.
late.
I'm not gonna lie, I never did.
You never did.
No.
And really, like, again, like, you could be like, even though you're like, oh, I'm going to heal my tank, what have you actually needed to do here? Like, really, like, what has actually happened here? You could nano your Mantra if you wanted in the push. Okay, that's it. You guys won. Congrats.
Yeah.
Now
We
you
won
can,
that fight.
And now you can walk forward because your Mantra's not going to get shot in the back. Why is your Mantra not getting shot in the back? What just happened up here?
Well, our Cass killed.
Your
the
cast
Pharah.
won the flank duel. So he wins the flank duel. Now he's the one controlling the flank, and you guys are safe. Your cast just deadlifted this. Your cast and Kiriko in this fight. Your Ramatra did nothing. You did nothing. Now maybe your Ramatra held the space down in main. That there's value there too. But you contributed 0. Now here, you don't have to be super cute with your presence. It's not just about like, oh, flank Ana. That's not the takeaway here. The takeaway is like, what am I doing? Like, what value am I bringing to the table right now? If you hit a nade right now, as soon as this shield drops on this front line, is that value on this Ashe and Sigma?
Yeah.
Yes. Are you in a position to hit this nade?
Yeah.
Okay, so hit the nade.
I didn't do it.
Now, why didn't you do it? Because I don't even think this is a mistake. I think you screwed yourself over. Why did you not hit the nade?
I wasn't even thinking about it at the time.
You weren't thinking about it at the time.
I was thinking about when to use
your nano.
the nano. Yeah.
And also,
But
you're
then
1 HP, right?
Yeah.
Why are you 1 HP?
I was too far
Where
left.
is this Pharah
I
shooting
couldn't.
rockets? Let's find out. Oh my goodness gracious.
Yeah.
Look at this. I don't even think she was aiming for you. I think she's just like shooting your general direction. You're cooked, right? Made it too easy. So I want you to think back. What would have been a better position for you to be able to comfortably hit this nade without getting absolutely your face melted?
Up the stairs on the left.
Up the stairs on the left. Now, it meant you would not have been able to kite.
No.
You got to keep that in mind. But you would have been in a much better off angle with cover to be able to land the nade comfortably. And also, it's interesting that both the Pharah rocket and the Bob and even the Sigma shield are all focused in one direction. Did you notice that?
Mm-hmm.
You gave them too much value by stacking with your entire backline. You could get all the peel in the world, but you also take all the damage in the world. And as we already established, what peel do you get from being stacked that you don't get from being split? And the answer is really nothing, usually. Even a Lucio aura could have hit you from over here, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Is all this making sense, by the way?
Yeah.
Contribute to your team's success. Put out pressure. Take a position that's going to allow you to do so.
Yeah.
Now, what you could do is be like, I don't feel safe getting here right now. Okay, so when can you go? Because when can you go? What can you do to help you go? Because right now, because your team is all stacked, your Ramatra's losing HP because they have angles you guys don't. So what are you gonna do?
I should probably consider going up on the second floor.
You could. Yeah. Here's another idea. What would happen if you nanoed your Ramatra, like right... Let's go back a little bit. Like, let's say he had Nemesis form and you nanoed him right now. Like, he doesn't have it anymore, but let's just say he did. What would you do?
Okay. After nanoing him,
Mm-hmm.
I'll just follow up
How would
with
you follow up?
with making sure he's up, and then like putting more pressure
How
on
would you
the.
put more pressure?
Try to sleep. Did I
Okay.
use my sleep?
It doesn't
cool
matter.
now?
Just we're
Okay.
thinking theoreticals here, right?
All right.
Would
Nano
you
him.
need to stay in the same position to put out pressure?
No.
Okay, so
No.
how
I
would you
can move
push
forward with him.
forward with him, like this direction? What else another option? Because that might be a good way to get fluxed by the enemy Sigma, right? Or back
Yeah.
windowed, or spammed by dynamite. So what else could you do? Nano your Matcha, take a more aggressive angle. Where is that angle?
Up the stairs on the left
Upstairs again. Yep. You use the nano to take a more aggressive position so that you can hit an anti-nade on the back line and you win the fight off of that.
Mm.
You're like a puppeteer controlling a puppet. You use the nano so that you could do what you want to do. The nano Ramatcha might get jack all, but it's going to distract people, cause some chaos, open up you and your Cassidy to get a kill. Also would very strongly consider nanoing your Cassidy right here. Why?
Well, he's about to die.
Well, not just that, but what kind of a position does he have? Why would you say he's about to die? What's happening on his screen?
Well, there's a BAP there.
Yeah. Yeah. Is he gonna get value out of Nano? Is he gonna get value out of Nano?
I don't.
If you nano this Cassidy, is he gonna be able to shoot people in the face?
I don't think so.
You sure?
Really?
You sure? Look at his positioning. You see how close
Well,
he
yeah,
is?
they don't see him.
They don't, and even if they did see him, what are they gonna do about it, right?
Yeah.
He's in their face. Nano Cassidy wins this fight and saves his life. You nano people who are in aggressive positions. This is the cover child, the poster kid or whatever for a nano, or like aggression, right? Like, oh my goodness, a nano Cassidy would farm these guys, right? Something to consider. So
yeah,
as a support, you're either enabling aggression through your heals and nano and nade and all that foolishness, or you're taking aggression yourself. Sometimes both. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
You waited too long here. And so this fight's, probably won because Nano were Matcha and the Nano was fine. But again, what has your contribution been to this fight? Besides the Nano? Nothing, really, right?
Yeah.
And here, even though you got 2 kills, you're about to lose.
Yeah.
You're about to lose. Alright, let's keep watching. Make a play. Make a play. Don't you dare nade that, Orisa. Who should you be nading here?
I did.
I know, but who should you be nading here?
The Ash or the BAP.
Right.
That's behind the payload.
Nah!
You knew it.
I knew it.
Yeah.
Because all the guides say to nade the tank, right? Because the tank is the one that's playing aggressively, right? Not always. Not always. You saw it there. You got the Ash and BAP playing next to their Orisa. So why on earth would you nade the 550 HP hero with like the invulnerability cooldown, right? Any questions so far?
No, I don't.
It's not just about, because I'm also the advocate of cover and playing your range and being smart with your positioning, right? So I'm not saying go out there and feed, but I am going to say you need to be the reason that your team won. You need to be looking for ways to pressure, take angles, assist people that are on angles, look for nade value, look for damage value. It's not just about doing damage. It's just about putting yourself in a position to actually contribute to the team fight win. And sitting on main and pumping healing in your tank's butt doesn't win. The way that you win this team fight is how. How do you win this team fight? Give me a couple of things that you could do here. How do you contribute to winning this team fight?
Well, I can help assist burning down the hamster.
Sure can. Are you going to kill the hamster? No, but you know what a slut ball does when he gets shot. And what does a slut ball do when he gets shot? He gets shot a lot. And then what does a slut ball do once he wakes up and he's 200 HP?
He runs.
And then what does that mean for you?
That means more space for us.
More space for you, right? So more space for you to do what? For you personally.
Me personally?
Yeah.
I guess enable my teammates.
Sure.
So they can, yeah.
And then think selfishly. What else? What could you do?
Just to let you know, on on our offense, I couldn't pick Anna because my other support picked them before.
Sure, sure, sure.
So
But
I'm
you're
the
coach,
bat right now.
but you're coaching this Anna right now.
Oh, okay.
More space to do what?
Get a pick.
Get a pick. How? What would you do? Think about your nade. Think about your gun. Who could you shoot?
I mean, I can shoot.
Really, anybody, right?
Yeah.
You could nade the Ash, shoot, sleep the ball, burn the ball, nade the Ana across the map. Doesn't really matter, but you need to be thinking about that. Is all this making sense? Okay, so let's actually skip to where you really do play Ana, which is towards the end, right? Yeah. Okay. Make a play. Play. Too far in the open. Unimpactful nade, probably unnecessary as well. Good. Why not sleep? Should just slap.
Yeah.
You trust your mechanics. Trust your mechanics. You won't hit it every time. Sleep makes sense there. She's feeding. You sleep or she dies. You don't sleep or you die. It's that simple. Nice. When both teams try to take aggressive angles, it's the team that plays the situation better. If neither team takes an aggressive position, then it's going to be the team that actually took the angle, right? Think about the Pharah and the Cassidy. Remember on the recontest? If there was no Pharah up there, you would be able to flank nade the entire backline, right?
Yeah.
And just kill everybody, right? But it ended up somebody was there, so you needed to go fight for that position. Nade is totally unnecessary, right? It's not a free resource. You see him, as soon as he drops out a critical, he's fine. Now you're thinking what with your nade?
I don't know. I don't know what I was thinking there.
Well, what would you think now?
I thought maybe someone was behind there, and that nade will help.
Sure.
With him finish a kill.
But wait and see, right? Wait and see. Wait and see. Sweet, good. You can nano this if you want to.
I didn't nano.
That's okay. I think you hesitated because you're like, I don't see if he sees anybody. Don't. Okay, this is. I want some guts right here. This fight is like right here, mate. You have walls on her. She's distracted. You have sleep, nade, and full HP. You are a terror. You're grandma on crack when you're in this situation. Get out there, beat her up. You know what I'm saying?
I tried. I can tell you, I tried. I couldn't hit a shot on her.
But it's not. But it's not about that. You're scared. Like, why aren't you? I would open with sleep thought right there. Bang. You know what I'm saying? It's like you're hesitant. Like as soon as I see this, man, I'm egoing. You're like looking over there at my tank. Nah, kill her. Go. It's like walk into her. Screw it. You have full cooldowns. She's not a Reaper. Get in there. So you're like, oh, I missed the shot. I don't know. Yeah. I mean, it just felt like you weren't confident in yourself. You could nano either one of these guys. I mean, it sounds crazy to nano Hanzo, but if it wins the fight, right? If it keeps him alive, you know, I don't know. Okay. Let's watch a little more. And by the way, all this applies to BAP and Zen and Brig and Lucio. It doesn't matter to support hero. Even Mercy. It's like, what am I actually contributing? You know, am I just heal botting a tank, or am I actually damage boosting somebody on an off angle, right?
Okay.
Let's go get that. Get it. Oh my days, it's so scary. Ah, disaster. He got ripped.
Yeah.
That's annoying. Wait, what happened to
I didn't even know she was up there.
Oh, I know what this is.
Yeah.
I know what this is. I know what this is. I mean, at least this one, at least you have an excuse for it, because yeah, I don't think you guys even touched, but yeah. Okay. Let's look at a little bit. I got a few minutes. Do you want to look at like one more fight on like a Batiste or something, or do you want to look at one in Zen? It's up to you.
No, it's okay. I think we're good.
Okay.
Like I don't want to.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, let's wrap it up in at least something of a tidy package there.
Right.
Ana, what are the skills? What do you need to practice? What are the actionable basketball skills that you need to go in and like actually train with this hero?
Enable flankers that are going to be effective. Like our cast was soloing, going out by himself,
Right.
and I should have been more helping him
Mm-hmm.
do his job better,
Mm-hmm.
instead of me being a heal bot.
Right. And even the heal botting, like there were many times when you would heal bot your Ramatra who was pushing and it was fine. It was good. But it's because your Ramatra was taking action, right? Or taking a position. Like that position there when the Cassie was on the high ground, what was your Ramatra doing?
He was on the low ground, just taking that corner, trying to take that corner back.
Right. Wasn't doing a whole lot, right?
No.
Look for like try to picture either who is going to win this fight for us. Enable that, or you be the person to win your team the fight.
Okay.
And now that's obviously going to be tricky to apply, but that's the mindset that you need to be in. And then when you're in that mindset, that also affects your cooldowns. So that moves on to the next thing. What's your next skill that you need to practice?
I need to pick something about a specific role.
Okay.
Oh, you mean like wait, what do you mean by that question?
So thinking about your cooldowns, sure. Thinking about your cooldowns, what did you see from what we saw? Your nade,
Be more aggressive when I'm in good positions to do something, right? Like earlier with that Echo when she was above me and when I should have tried to sleep even though. Yeah.
Take action, you know.
Yeah.
Take action, be more proactive. And like this is when you play like this, no wonder you feel like a lot of it's outside of your control. Because a lot of it is. Right?
Yeah.
You're just kind of playing it. I wouldn't say playing it safe. It's just like you're just kind of hoping that, you know, your survival is going to be enough value.
Right.
And survival is important. You know, risk versus reward. But you could have your cake and eat it too. And a lot of the time, if you're focused more on setting up off angles and plays and helping people and looking for nades, you're going to also keep yourself alive better by putting more pressure on the enemy team so that those DPS and those tanks can't take all the positions that they want, right? Think about it like when that far. Well, if your Cassidy doesn't get help on that top, you know where that far is going to go next. All right. You're dead, right?
Yeah.
And then you're going to wonder why your Cassidy, your hit scan sucks, right? So something to look at. Now this is it's a little bit more philosophical than a lot of my other reviews because I do think it's a little bit of a mindset shift. But I want you to understand that this kind of mindset really applies to like I said, your Bat, your Zen, your Brig here too. Like, are you packing flankers? Are you harming and harming and discording your DPS on off angles? Or if your tank's going in, are you discording the enemy tank when he's going in? But if the enemy tanks are passive, then why are you discording tank? Right? It's too easy, right? You got to be thinking about that. Baptiste, you know, as soon as you find the opportunity to put pressure on a DPS or take an aggressive position to actually play Baptiste 76, right? Do it. You got to heal a lot sometimes, but do it. Take space. And for you, positioning was also like like very respectfully, but the red flag that raised for me is when I said, "Why are you here?" And you're like, "Well, I need my team to be able to peel for me," right? And remember that on the second point with the Kiriko, right? That, but that's not how it works, right? That's not. Think about sight lines with your support and your team. Playing around your team doesn't mean playing on top of your team.
Yeah.
If that makes any sense. Do you have any questions?
No, I don't.
Okay. I want you to keep in touch with how stuff is going. Let me know if you have any questions. Obviously, at any time, just shoot me a message anytime. All right?
All right, will do.
Cheers.
Appreciate the coaching.